And in the pit lane, Ben van der Stucken, our press and PR guy for the BNL karting series. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the last race of the day here at Karting Genk, home of champions. It's the top 36 grand finale for Senior Max for this first day of the competitive season. Your grid is as follows. On the front row, it's Ilian Bruinseels from Belgium. Alongside him will be Clayton Ravenscroft on the front row. Dylan LaHaye and Lewis Gilbert on row 2. Charlie Turner and Kai Hunter, row 3. Mads Rees and Reese Hunter, row 4. Jason Lockwood and Patrick Grunquist round out the top 10. Ahead of the following 25 or so other drivers. Storm Brouwer in 11th. Andreas Herbert, Ben Davis, Lorenzo Stolk, Alex Pendlebury, Teddy Clinton, Sam Harrison, Ben Donkin, Emily De Hoys, Bram Ossevarda, Leroy Jägersar, Mick Knowlton, Rick Boothorn, Kian Sang, Victor Plateau, James Lowther, Henri Young, Nick van der Mosselaar, Felix Varger, Arthur Horsch, Christian Koya, Danny Kroos, Anthony Overbeek, Felix Jansson, Antoine Antier, and Fabian Bock completing the 36-strong lineup, and I did that with hardly taking a breath. My goodness. Right, 13 minutes on the timer are set in stone, plus 1 additional lap for the final time here today. Red lights on the gantry. Are you ready for what is going to be an absolute slobber knocker? They go through the tram lines. Do we go green? Yes, we do. Heading into turn 1, absolute swarm of senior Rotax Max drivers. Heading into turn 1. Oh no, we've had a melee in the midfield. Absolute carnage. And we've had several karts avoid, at least 6, and 3 were involved deep in the middle of the scrum. So some drivers already compromised. That happened when I saw about 3, maybe close to 4 wide, around the mid-pack, around about sort of position 15. But the leaders now, well, Dylan LaHaye has now stolen a march on Clayton Ravenscroft and is behind Ilian Bruinseels. This could get very dicey very quickly. If anyone might remember what happened in the first 3 minutes of the Rotax Max Euro Trophy round at Christianstad in the second final, I think I've never seen so much contact in all my life. Could this be even worse? I'm not too sure, but we will find out. So we have just over 12 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock, plus an additional lap. LaHaye closes on Bruinseels for that coveted lead position, but Ravenscroft will have absolutely none of it if he gets his way. You think what Lewis Gilbert tried earlier on and didn't do it? Well, Clayton Ravenscroft did that last year in the final round in October, overtaking 2 drivers. So, have we still got all 36 circulating? Yes, we have. That's great news. Everyone has got back up and running. And there's been quite a few losers in this. We've had the likes of Ben Davis down in 25th position. Antoine Antier's up into 26th. Ben Donkin down in 28th. Rick Boothorn down in 30th. So your top 10 at the moment is Bruinseels, LaHaye, Ravenscroft, Rees, Turner, Kai Hunter, Lewis Gilbert, Jason Lockwood, Reese Hunter, and Patrick Grunquist. That is your top 10. And the lead has changed. Bruinseels down into 3rd because both LaHaye and Ravenscroft have gotten past. And behind them is the number 369 of Mads Rees. And then you've got Kai Hunter, Charlie Turner, and Lewis Gilbert in hot pursuit. That's the top 7. Behind them, you've got another train of 4 karts, which is led by Jason Lockwood, Reese Hunter, Patrick Grunquist, and Storm Brouwer. Now, whereas Mick Knowlton is not customarily where I would see him, and he's down in 22nd as Bruinseels tries to muscle in on Dylan LaHaye for 2nd position. Mads Rees is also in the mix. Takes a look over his right shoulder very, very briefly indeed. So Storm Brouwer and Patrick Grunquist quite close in proximity. When I tell you that the top 11 are separated by just 2.5 seconds, this is going to go absolutely crazy, and I can't call as to when that will be, but I can guarantee you this. If you thought the junior one was exciting, this is going to get even better. Mick Knowlton's made a couple of more places. He's up to 22nd now. So he's been in the trenches as the Dutch driver, still sticking with GKS Lemon's power. But at the front of the field, Clayton Ravenscroft continues to command a lead, but it's a fractional one at the very, very most. Ahead of Dylan LaHaye, who is fending off Ilian Bruinseels, Mads Rees, Charlie Turner, Kai Hunter, Lewis Gilbert. Now add Reese Hunter to that mix. That's your top 8. You can't separate them. Behind them is Jason Lockwood and Patrick Rundqvist, with Rundqvist now up into 9th place, and Mads Rees just gets overtaken as Charlie Turner just blasts past him like Rees was standing still, and Lewis Gilbert has now got himself past Kai Hunter up into 6th. This is now the intensity starting to build, the momentum starting to carry in the favour of some drivers who just might have been conserving a little bit in the qualifying heat stages a little bit earlier on. The people I feel more sorry for is the people that have had to fight for the last 8 positions on the grid. But now is where we see the cream of the crop, and I can see it's not 8 karts anymore. I have just counted 13 karts who are separated by 3.5 seconds. That's absolute madness. And the 13th kart is one of the qualifiers in the second chance heat. The Belgian kart of 3:07. Felix Varget is absolutely flying. He's just done a 54.8. He's 2/10 off of Andreas Herbert in 12th position. The fastest lap goes to the top honour. Well, Dylan LaHaye, in the meantime, has got past Clayton Ravenscroft. And Charlie Turner might have just accidentally made contact with Ilian Brunseels, which has allowed... I think that is... I'm just trying to keep an eye on who that is. That is Mads Rees, now back up into 4th position. So a bit of contact. And that unsettled Brunseels down the back straight away. No, it's Mads Rees. So Lewis Gilbert up into 6th position. Reese Hunter and Kai Hunter ran out the top 8. So Felix Varget has made an absolute mincemeat of the second half of the field and has gone, well, I have competed in the Rotax Grand Finals. This just shows that caliber of that Belgian. So he's doing a great job as the 307. He's keeping in touch with the likes of Andreas Herbert, Stormpower, and Jason Lockwood. Lockwood completes the top 10 at the moment. But for how much longer? This depends on what happens as Varget goes past. I think that was Stormbreur maybe going through. Yes, that was the case. So Varget up into 12th as Ravenscroft is battling tooth and nail with Charlie Turner for 2nd position as Dylan LaHaye is being allowed to get away with it all. The Belgian, I think, might have to count his lucky stars, or not count his the chicken before the egg, so to speak, because it's not over yet. Anything can happen as Ravenscroft is in the middle of a Charlie Turner, and I think that's an Ilian Brunseels sandwich, so he's the filling is Ravenscroft, but there'll be a time when he will want to get past, and that could be any time within the next 6.25 minutes, plus 1 additional lap. Dylan LaHaye now has a comfortable gap of 1.4 seconds over the battling trio behind. Maybe even make that a quartet if you consider that Mads Rees will catch up with that very shortly. No, Mads Rees has dropped back. That's the 329 of Lewis Gilbert. The problem is, I always recognised Lewis when he was in KR Sport Equipment. Now he's with Persistence Motorsport, and that's thrown me a curveball. So, Mads Rees now drops down the order. So, we still have this great battle royale between Charlie Turner, Clayton Ravenscroft, Ilian Brunseels, and now Lewis Gilbert, the Dual Diamond, who shone quite brightly at the kickoff. Ravenscroft goes back up the inside of Turner to retake 2nd position. Turner responds by trying to bump draft, but Brunseels swamps all over the Brit and overtakes him going into turn 7. What's going to happen next? Is he going to be usurped by another Brit, another countryman in the form of Lewis Gilbert? Who's not to say that's going to happen, because they're on the run down to turn number 10, and he's gone for the move. It's side by side. Who's going to come out of turn 11 first? It's Lewis Gilbert. Gilbert's forced the issue. He's done a fantastic job. The 2 Hunters are in there as well. Turner's dropping down the order. Mads Rees goes up the inside of the pair of them. And oh my goodness, Patrick Rundqvist wants a bit of a fist fight as well. Here comes Felix Varget. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. This is absolute dynamite before our very eyes. Whoa, my goodness. And in the words of Tom Coronel, mamma mia. I have to enunciate that, sorry, but Dylan LaHaye, you're absolutely lucky, mate. You're getting away with it all. You're 2 seconds ahead of Clayton Ravenscroft, who's got Ilian Brunsils. Then it's a little bit further back to Lewis Gilbert. Kai Hunter, Mads Ries, and Charlie Turner round out the top 7, it looks like. And behind them, just keeping an eye out. Now, where is Felix Varget? He's 10th. So the Belgians come from the lower echelon of the grid up into the top 10. And he's just behind... Well, Felix Varget, I think I just spotted behind Emily de Hoys because there was so much positional changing. Let's just see how it unfolds. LaHaye leads from Ravenscroft by 2 seconds. Varget drops to 14th. I was right. Knowlton's up into 17th position. Arthur Horsch, another one of our second chance Heat 8 driver qualifiers, now is up into 16th, ahead of Mick Knowlton. This is absolutely mind-blowing. You know, when the cards are all stacked against you, the cards, I think, have just been shuffled in a deck and thrown everywhere. That's what this final has felt like since we started racing 10 minutes ago. We've still got 3 to go, plus an additional lap. Dylan LaHaye still leads. Ilian Brunsils, I think, is pressurizing Clayton Ravenscroft for this second position. But wowee, this is an absolute corker. If you're not watching the live stream right now, you are absolutely missing a treat of racing spectacle. So Ravenscroft defending to the hilt. Gilbert now looking very forlorn and lonely in 4th position. And behind they've got the battling trio of Kai Hunter, Mads Ries and Charlie Turner. That is for 5th. You go a little bit further back by about 1.1 seconds to Patrick Rundqvist, with Ries Hunter and Storm Breuer rounding out the top 10. And then the gaps behind that. So from Lockwood to Leroy Jägersar, this is 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 19th. That's about a second and a half. That's ridiculous. I've never used so many superlatives in one race alone, and this just takes the biscuit. Dylan LaHaye continues to lead, whereas the contretemps are going absolutely bananas. Well, they do say that bananas is good, but never mind. I'm not going to use that term of phrase yet again, am I, Alex? As we're getting more people trying to force the issue on other drivers to force their way past convincingly, but doing it firmly and fairly. The good thing is oh, well, no, there's been a change. What's happened to Lewis Gilbert? Lewis Gilbert has dropped down to dead last. Did he park it? Has he parked it? Yes, he has. He's a lap down, so there's still 35 competitors, but one of the 36 is missing, and that is Lewis Gilbert. He was running 4th. He's now out of it. Mads Ries goes to 5th behind Kai Hunter. Or is he? Hang on a second. Yes, Mads Ries still in 5th. He's ahead of Ries Hunter. Rundqvist, Breuer, and Jägersar now complete the top 10. And then Emily de Hoys is trying to strike at the UK's Jason Lockwood. Other changes in position. Mick Knowlton, so good to see that guy back in the top 15. Ben Donkin is recovering up to 27th now. James Lowther and Lorenzo Stock, who were a little bit further up the order, now into 30th and 31st. But we got 23 seconds on the clock remaining. It looks like Dylan LaHaye is running away with it. The 3:28 from Belgium, in those proudly sporting for the 7th successive season the GKS Lemons Power colours. Ahead of KR Sports Clayton Ravenscroft with Boven Powers, Ilian Brunsils. Then it's the Dan Holland Racing cars of Kai Hunter and Charlie Turner there, with Mads Ries, who's running as an independent, still proudly running with that love. I mean, he had a very different set of overalls last year, but now he's running in the Danish flag colours. That just shows proudness, proud to be who he is, and he's a great character as well. So it's going to be this plus one more lap to go. Dylan LaHaye has a lead of 1.83 seconds ahead of Clayton Ravenscroft. And I tell you what, I think he just can cruise to the finish right now. as he comes through turn 10, through the left-hander at turn 11, and round turn 12 to now see, well, hang on. Is this the checkered flag? It is! Dylan LaHaye takes the win in the top 36 Senior Max final. Clayton Ravenscroft takes second ahead of Ilian Brunsils. Kai Hunter and Charlie Turner round out the top 5. Turner taking it from Mads Ries on the last lap alone. And I'm just going to wait for everybody to finish before I go through this absolutely ballistic, crazy behemoth of a top 36 final. That was mental, I think, in the words of one of my fellow commentator friends. I know he would agree with me on that one, wouldn't you? You know who you are. But yes, that was absolutely mental for 14.5 minutes of action. So your final running order to conclude day 1 of round 1 of the 29 BNL Karting Series season is as follows. For the Senior Max Top 36 final, the win went to Dylan LaHaye by 1.676 seconds ahead of Clayton Ravenscroft, with Ilian Brunsils rounding out the top 3, followed by Kai Hunter and Charlie Turner from the UK. Mads Ries made it a Dane in the top 6, in 6th position ahead of Ries Hunter, with Patrick Rundqvist, Storm Brewer and Leroy Jägersar rounding out the top 10. Jason Lockwood, Felix Farger, Emily De Hoys, Mick Knowlton, Arthur Horsch, Ben Davis, Henri Young, Teddy Clinton, Victor Plateau and Fabian Bock completed the top 20.